Oh, hey, what's going on, guys? Today I have a very large kit that we're going to be checking out just for the unboxing for today, as this is going to be a new project that's going to take a little while. As you might imagine, we're taking a look at the PLAMAX 1/12 scale Tiger 1 tank, and this is part of, like I said, kind of a special project, a sort of group community build project that I'm starting with my friend Kurosama, and we were both talking about building some large kits. I think he's going to be working on a PLAMAX kit, actually, the minimum factory 120 scale Macross model kit, I think, which is also a very big kit like this. And we thought, let's make it like a community build, not necessarily like a contest or a build off necessarily, but this is a big boy Plamo model kit sort of community build where we invite you guys to join along. If you've got a big kit in your backlog that you've been wanting to build and you've kind of been maybe a little bit intimidated by it, or maybe it's just something a little bit different. For me, in my case, not only is this a very large kit, but it's also obviously a tank model kit, which is not something that I typically build. I've never really built, actually, to be honest, like a full, like a regular sort of tank model kit. And so it's going to be my first ever kind of tank build, and why not make it a big one here with this? So this is my build that I'm going to be working on for Big Boy Plamo hashtag that you guys can use. I invite you guys to join in. So Kurosama and I will both be building our big kits, and if you guys have something you want to build along to, use that hashtag. And then maybe later on, maybe towards the end of the year, because I imagine this is going to be a big project for anybody who's kind of wanting to join in. That's probably going to take a few months. So maybe later on in the year, we'll do like a live stream or something like that. Maybe just going through the hashtag, checking out like some of your guys' builds that you worked on for this community build as well. So yeah, if you're a creator or you share your content online at all and you want to join in, just use that hashtag. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the unboxing here for this. A little bit of a backstory on that just before we get into it. So I believe this was originally released as a Figma. They released it for a Girls and Panzer Figma, and then later they released this model kit version of it. And it was made to go along with the Girls and Panzer Figmas, which are 1/12 scale, so they needed a 1/12 scale kit, which is very large. I think typically most armor model kits are 1/35 scale. So this is basically sort of like a mega size tank kit, and so there's going to be a lot of stuff in here. The box is actually super heavy. I'll go check the weight on this. I'll put that on the screen for you guys, but it seems like a lot. So there's a ton of stuff in here. And I mean, just aside from the plastic and everything, I actually kind of don't really know what to anticipate as far as like other like metal parts or anything that might be included with this. I'm not really sure what I'm getting myself into, but let's go ahead and get into it here for today's video. And so as you can see with this one anyway, the box is gigantic and very heavy. As I mentioned, this is part of the PLAMAX 10th anniversary of the Max Factory logo over here. It's letting us know that it's a ready to assemble 1/12 scale plastic model kit, approximately 700 millimeters in length and 250 millimeters in height. So yeah, not too dissimilar proportions to this box, actually, probably a little bit longer but similar in height. So it's going to be very, very big. There's even a little blurb here on the front saying that it's the largest Tiger 1 plastic model in history. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Around here on the ends of the box, just another photo of the kit there. I guess it's painted sort of, but obviously not like, fully painted. It looks like it's maybe just like some top coat on top of just the base unpainted model kit, essentially. But here on the back side, we have a couple more images of the tank here, like from the rear, from above. So you can see like some of the details here on the back and on the top. A photo here of the tank treads, which looks like those are going to be all separate parts. So that's going to be a lot of parts to deal with. Hopefully there's not like bad mold lines on each of those parts that I'm gonna have to sand. That would just be very, very, very bad. But we got another couple of photos there, and that's pretty much it. Not really a whole lot to see here on the outside of the box. The bottom of the box actually just features the same thing as the top, so it's one of those that you kind of don't really know where to start with it. But the top of the box here just featuring the same thing. Pretty simple, like I said, on the outside. But let's pop it open and see what we've got inside here. We've got some paper stuff here on the very top. This would look to be like it's the instructions and decals, but the instruction manual doesn't seem all that thick which is kind of surprising for as big a kit as it is. I guess it's going to be fairly simple in the construction. We got a little paper here letting us know that there's a couple of parts that are not going to be used from bag N, I guess. These look like maybe those are going to be metal parts. I'm not sure. Again, I don't really know what is all inside here, but here is the instruction manual, just black and white, which is kind of odd. It's very strange actually, because usually, and it's one thing that I always talk about whenever I build like PLAMAX and Max Factory model kits, one thing that I like about them is that their instruction manual is always in full color. So kind of interesting that for this kit, it's not at all in full color. Here on the backside is like our color guide letting us know where different parts are meant to be painted in different colors. It's all there in Japanese, but fairly simple and straightforward to figure out. So we'll go back to the front of the manual here, which looks like a breakdown of all of the parts and everything that's included by bag. So this is bag A. Includes basically these couple of parts, and you can see there are just like loose parts actually. Bag B does have a couple of runners there, a couple of small runners, and so it's like a mix of just a lot of parts which are already off the runners apparently, and then some small runners which have some parts in there. We've got a bunch of screws and it looks like maybe metal rods here. We've got our decals. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be quite the interesting construction process. Definitely something very different from what I'm used to, but that's why I'm building it, because I wanted to just try something different here with this. It's big boy Plamo. There's a lot of repetition with some of these parts here. And yeah, again, just hoping that we don't have loads and loads of mold lines that need to be sanded on everything. But anyway, I'm anticipating this project is gonna take a while, so I'm fine with it. There's lots of repetition, but basically it's just kind of for the spectacle of a gigantic tank model kit here. So yeah, it goes through the construction. It's very different from what I'm used to seeing like with most other model kits that I'm building. The last couple pages here just going over where the like equipment on the outside goes, and it's kind of like the final assembly with the last couple of bits there, it looks like. And then for our water slide decals, we've got this huge A4 size sheet here with some numbers and logos and stuff on here. Probably not going to be using these because I do have something else in mind for this, but a lot of very large decals on there to go on our large tank. So let's check out some of these bags here. This is very interesting. This is obviously some parts here for the treads. This being runner Z here in black, which we have 3 of there. But you may notice it looks like we've got a few more of these parts in here. 1 brick, 2 brick, 3 bricks, 4 bricks full, and each of these bricks consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runners times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 48 parts per brick. Let's just call it 50 because we do have these couple of extra ones here as well, times 4. So that means about 200 of those parts that we get to put together. Very fun. What else we got in here? Oh my goodness. So this is giving us a good idea of what to expect as for the size. This is even larger than I was expecting. So this is obviously 2 parts here for the turret on top. And yeah, it's even bigger than I was expecting. Let me just go ahead and grab a master grade model kit. So yeah, this is a 1/100 scale master grade for comparison here to this. Yeah, it's a very, very big kit, I think. And you can see there's some nice details on there. Not a ton, but there's going to be a lot of space on there to add more details if you want. And I think that I will, but yeah, there's a lot of surface to sand there as well. I think just the prep work alone for this kit is going to be pretty insane. Next here is a couple of smaller runners with some of these like smaller detail parts. They're definitely much smaller than everything else, like in comparison, still like not as small as of course they would be on a typical like 1/35 scale kit. You got the parts here for the smoke launchers there, it looks like. And yeah, kind of interesting to see that we have these runners with just like loose parts. Kind of interesting that these weren't printed like on actual runners. So I'm just trying to see if I can see where's the marks, the nub marks from where this is cut from a runner, because I'm assuming it was molded on a runner and then just cut from a runner and put into the bag here. But I'm not really seeing where this maybe was cut off from a runner, so maybe I'm wrong about that. There's a few more bits here in this bag and just kind of gives us a sense of what we can expect for how some of these parts are packaged. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Look at this. This bag just full of tank wheels. All right. That is fun, and it looks like this one has markings here on the back, so you can see this has an A on it, and so there's going to be different ones here that are marked. This one has a C on it on the back of it here. This one's an E, so they're marked with a little letter on the back side so you can tell which one's which. But that sure is a whole bunch of those in that bag. Another bag here, bag G with some more parts in it. Now, what I'm curious about is the parts for like the main body. Just that'll really illustrate for us just how big this is going to be after a couple of other smaller bags there. Here we have bag B. This looks to be the main top part of the tank here. It can have, there's like the grill details there on the back. And yeah, it's absolutely gigantic. Let me just get a ruler on this. So this is about 32 centimeters across there, and yeah, my ruler is not even long enough, so this is a 45 centimeter ruler, and it's not reaching the end of that. So yeah, as we saw on the outside of the box, it said that it's about 70 centimeters long. But I mean, just to see this like this, it is crazy. Here in the bottom of the box is, it looks like everything else. Here in the bottom half, I wanted to go ahead and move the box away for a minute, as it looks like I've got a metal part that was just floating around in there. We want to be careful not to lose anything, so I gotta say, points off for the packaging if you have small important parts like this just floating about. But this is, it looks like just one big bag, and ideally stuff wouldn't be coming out of this, but I'm guessing that in here it's a bagged like paper envelope here that oh, okay, this is not what I was expecting. I thought maybe this is our metal parts. It is sort of, but looks like this is some metal wire. This would be for like the rope details. We actually have two different sizes of woven wire here. So that's pretty interesting. That's what we're going to use for the ropes. I don't know if that's common, like probably on like smaller scale tank model kits, you probably actually use stuff like this pretty regularly, I would assume, as it is going to look, once it's painted, very lifelike, like rope, I guess. This much thicker one though, probably less common on a typical tank model kit. Here's some of our metal parts. So yeah, we've got these plastic gear parts. There's a bunch of those in there. And here, some of our metal parts, a whole bunch of screws. Oh my God, just tons of screws, a couple of washers in there as well. Looks like a few different size screws are all separated out there. And then rods. Yes, metal rods, a whole bunch of these. There's 1, 2, 3 compartments here that are empty, and I'm guessing that's not supposed to be like that. So one rod that was in there just floating around, I'm guessing is loose from one of here. But this one over here has tons. There's like 50 little rods in there. I'm guessing that's for the treads. Bag E, bag H. This is just more parts there. A couple more loose parts in here. This screw, got to make sure not to lose that as well. A couple of other smaller bags here. Bag C and bag N. Oops. Yeah, so just a few bits in there. Let's see. Yeah, here's another metal rod part. Yeah, so a couple of those that broke out of their bag. And this guy here as well, another one of those. And our main half for the bottom side of the tank, with a little bit of detail on there. Not much, as obviously it's just going to be on the bottom, but you can again get an idea of the size of this massive boat of plastic there. That's pretty much everything. One thing I wanted to take a look at was a closer look here at the tank tread parts, just because I wanted to see if these are going to be like a real pain to work on or not all that bad. And looking at it, I mean, it looks like we're probably going to have like a little bit of a mold line right there. You guys can see that on those parts. I don't know how visible that's really going to be or not. Maybe it's not going to be all that bad, all things considered. And especially since, there's going to be hundreds of them linked together, probably not going to be all that noticeable, but probably we'll have to do a little bit of sanding on these. But in the grand scheme of things, where I'm going to have to do a lot of sanding, I think I'm going to have to use some kind of power tool for a lot of the sanding for this, just because otherwise it's just going to kill me. So I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Just wanted to go through everything. Here you can see on this runner, there's some more of the like external equipment on the outside. So you can see this is like the part here for like the ends of the rope. So I think that wire that we have, we're going to like plug into here. And this is just going to be like a plastic part for the end part there. It's like our shovel and axe and sledgehammer here that we can put on the outside. I actually have an idea for what I want to do with this in terms of like the actual painting and modeling of it, and I'll talk about that in a future video. But for now, I just wanted to go through the unboxing of the kit and just to let you guys know about the Big Boy Plamo hashtag. You guys can join in if you've got like a big perfect grade or mega size Gundam model kit that you've had in your backlog, but you've been kind of intimidated to actually take it on and start working on it. I invite you guys to go ahead and dive in. Like I said, Kurosama is going to be building a large 120 scale Macross model kit from Max Factory as well. So if you've got a big kit that you want to work on, use that hashtag and we'll take on these massive model kits hand in hand. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to share the unboxing of this. If you guys want to check out some more model kits from Max Factory, check the link in the video description below to USA Gundam Store. We've got lots of great stuff there on the website, as well as paints, tools, and supplies, all of which I'll definitely be needing for this build. A whole lot of paint, I think. But for now, guys, if you're looking forward to the continuation of this project, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any future updates. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like as well. Leave a comment in the comment section letting me know your thoughts on this kit so far. Until next time, I hope that you guys are all having a great day. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.